to do kind of more experimental games and try crazy ideas a bit more. So I decided this time to do something more just like my own take on an existing game, just to see, try and remake it and do some my own twists. Recently, just before Borderlands 2 came out, Gearbox released an online Flash game that was kind of like an old Smash TV arena shooter kind of thing. That was kind of a very, very simplistic, like NES style take on their game. So they created a retro one. So I decided like something like that could be kind of fun, like an arena shooter kind of thing, somewhat similar to that. But the idea is the whole survival of the fittest thing was based more on like adaptability. So there's 4 elements in the game: earth, wind, fire, water. The basic stuff you're used to. And like in this game, like earth opposes wind, fire opposes water, and so they both oppose each other, like both directions. And all of the bad guys in it have an element that they are that gives them a bonus and affects how they move and things like that. And also your weapons do as well, because you have different kinds of bullets. All the weapons in it are essentially procedurally generated in that they have different attributes, and those are all generated based off a system. You can see up at the top here, I have a weak semi-auto commando rifle with rock bullets. So that's going to have certain effects, like the rock bullets, for example, give bonus damage, except for when you're shooting against other things with better earth, you will not get like the elemental damage bonus. But if you're shooting against your opposite one, like wind, you get extra damage on top of that, and you get cash as you go. There's a vending machine. I don't know why that's showing up hella weird, on the web one. Anyways, these buy buttons are all supposed to be down here. But the gist is the vending machine's also randomly stocked with 3 different items. In this case, every time you click on it, but ideally it would be timed or something similar to the way Borderlands did it. So it's generating each of these based off the system. So you have like 5 different levels of damage, 5 different levels of fire rate, and then 5 different types of that type, sort of. Like there's 3 different types of weapons, like a rifle machine gun kind of one, shotgun, which is like just kind of a spread gun, and explosive. So there's different levels of those. Like the shotgun one, you get more bullets spreading out. The explosive one, the explosion's bigger, and the machine gun rifle one, you get more critical hits. And then obviously you have the 4 elements as well. The price is also dynamically created based off of the values. So like the higher level values each of those are, it inflates the price. Similarly, so you can just buy one that you like. If you find one you like. In this case, it resets the level just because I was trying to mess with different stuff. So there's like the explosive one. Anyone within the blast radius takes additional damage. So this is not a very big explosion on this gun because I got like a low level version.
Do you have multiple weapons?
In this case, you can only have 1 weapon, and that's kind of the idea, is you got to kind of trade off. There's no perfect weapon because you're not able to get 5s on every stat. So there's kind of a balancing system to keep it from ever really getting a perfect weapon. There's monster levels. So as you're killing monsters, the level goes up, and more difficult monsters come out, bigger health, a little bit slower, more health, a little bit slower. You can do more damage. And then once you get to level 6, like I am here, and once I've killed off everything, a big boss monster comes out, which is like a lot bigger, more health, and can only be damaged by the element that's the opposite of him. So this guy, in this case, luckily I happen to have the opposite. Or no, I don't have the opposite, but I'm doing bonus damage anyways from explosion, I think. But basically, normally you wouldn't be able to hurt him without having the opposite weapon. He's kind of walking a little too slow, I think he's a little messed up. And your health regenerates as you go, and you take damage from bumping into guys. So like, you see there, I took a little bit of damage, and it regenerates. I actually took a lot of damage. The idea is, when the game is more complete, the idea would be you go through the 4 different kinds of zones, like a fire zone would be like a lava world, and caves for like an earth zone. And then when you defeat the boss, you get like a special item, and you need all 4 of them to be able to win the game. But obviously the boss can only be defeated by a gun that's the opposite, so you'd actually need to go to the opposite kind of place, where it's more likely to drop the good versions of that gun. So it's kind of a Mega Man kind of thing in a way, like you're trying to go get the good weapon against the boss so that you can beat him easier, otherwise it's going to be really hard. And you just kind of play around with all kinds of different guns, because it'll always be different, it's random. You start with a random one, but you can buy, and I just gave myself 10,000 to be able to demonstrate.
What'd you make it with?
Construct 2, this was actually my first time using Construct 2. I normally use Construct Classic, But I decided to take the leap, and actually it was really nice. Like, the nice thing is this is just a web page. This is all HTML5. So this is actually a real web page that you can go to right now. Like, I uploaded it to my web server. And it can be ported into the iPhone and iPad and all kinds of stuff since it's just HTML5. There's a little bit of WebGL because I threw on some filtering effects for like colors and to show that you're on fire and stuff like that because I didn't want to make additional sprites. Like the sprite of your character and the monster from some old SNES game. Stuff like that, just a grand sprite art.
It looked almost out of Doom or something.
Yeah, it was out of was it Chaos Engine, some old SNES game. Just because I didn't have an artist, it was just me on the team. So it was like, whatever works. So yeah, hopefully it would be a lot more interesting to be able to be playable on Facebook and iOS and all that stuff. So
let's see the shotgun.
Oh yeah, the shotgun. I need to do it again because no shotguns came up this time. Dang, no shotguns that time either. It's all explosions. There we go. This little shotgun. Where's the bullets there? Oh, I got like a hella weak one. There we go. They're just so dark brown. Let's see if we find a better one. Demonstrate. There we go. Be able to see these a lot better. So you can see like it's nice. You hit them a lot of times, so there's definitely an advantage to that gun. And it also it was designed to be kind of a no-button game. So you move the mouse cursor, and it just the game auto aims for you. There's a slow turn rate to keep it somewhat challenging, so you can't just instantly turn to see the guy. And it only fires within a certain distance and things like that. Keep it so it like kind of is playable with one button essentially. I mean on iOS it'd be kind of just touch where you want to go, not have to actually click anything or anything like that. So it's kind of an additional constraint to make it work for iOS good.